Cancer. It's one word no one ever wants to hear.
It's a scary thing, you know, I kind of joke about it, make light about it, but, you know, you'd be lying if you didn't say there's a time when you're laying there and I think, gosh, you know, what's really going to happen?
Former Red Wing forward Shawn Burr was used to taking hits on the ice, but the blow real life dealt him was far more than he ever experienced before.
In good health. If drive and attitude was all you needed to beat cancer, well, Shawn Burr would be cured, but it takes a lot more than that. Our medical expert, Dr. Frank McGeorge, is here with Shawn's story.
Carmen, Steve, you know, if cancer were a single disease, it would be much easier to cure, but it's not. Name any organ, and there's one or more cancers specific to it. In Burr's case, the organ is his blood and bone marrow. The cancer, acute myelogenous leukemia.
I was drafted in 1984 by the Wings, and 95 was my last year with the Wings.
And since, he's remained a generous contributor to our community.
In 2000, I actually started a kids foundation. It was in St. Clair County.
Then in February 2010, things changed.
Went to work in the morning and I was tired and came home and I said to my wife, I'm just exhausted. She said to go to the, just the local, not even emergency, there's a clinic in Marysville.
He was seen by a doctor who noticed something concerning when he looked in Shawn's mouth.
He didn't say anything for about 30 seconds. He was shunning. I said, I'm going to put you in an ambulance. I'm going to take you to the hospital for blood tests.
The doctor saw tiny red spots called petechia, a sign that your platelet counts are dangerously low. Something that not every doctor would have picked up on. He credits that doctor for saving his life.
If he would have just, sent me home with some penicillin and said, looks like you have strep throat, I probably would have died.
After he arrived at the hospital, blood tests were immediately done.
The doctor sits down, his face is just white. And I said, what's the problem, doc? And he says, we need to get you to a bigger hospital. And I'm like, well, what is it? And he says, well, it looks like leukemia. And I'm like, what? He made a call there and he said, they're on their way, they'll pick you up in the helicopter. I was at Mercy Hospital in Port Huron.
He was on his way to the University of Michigan with acute myelogenous leukemia, also called AML. Time was of the essence. In the acute phase of AML, a certain type of white blood cell, usually used to fight infection, has become cancerous, multiplying out of control and preventing your body from making other cells that it needs, like red blood cells and platelets. Shawn's particular cancer was initially treatable with chemotherapy alone.
I was in remission for about 7 or 8 months. Felt good. Everything was, I thought we had it beat.
And he changed the mission of his foundation.
We raise money for blood cancers and for whether it's research or leukemia lymphoma societies.
But after a brief remission, the AML returned, and this time it would be more difficult.
The only way they could combat it is with a bone marrow transplant.
He's lucky. He found a match and will get a transplant soon, but he wasn't about to stop. His generous nature would guide his mission as the honorary chair in a collaboration between the Michigan Dental Association and the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society.
What we're going to do is called Take a Bite Out of Cancer.
The goal is to get people on the Bone Marrow Registry through kits available in dental offices across the state.
You can actually do a swab, get put on the registry. There's absolutely no cost.
Burr knows the more people in the registry, the less of a long shot finding a match will be for people like him.
Someone that gets swabbed at the dentist's office is going to save someone's life. And it only takes one person. It's going to save somebody's life. And I think it's kind of cool to be a part of something like that.
Now, currently, the Take a Bite Out of Cancer drive is targeted to enroll 20,000 new people in the registry, which in fact would make it the largest bone marrow drive ever in the world.
Isn't that something? Wow. And there is a way that people can sign up. In fact, tomorrow, Local 4 is teaming up with LaFontaine Automotive Group for a special bone marrow drive all day tomorrow. They're holding the drive at 5 of their dealerships. For the complete addresses, head to the health page of clickondetroit.com.